I love seeing Disney fail. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. They have released several original series on Disney Plus in the last few months now, and none of them have been even remotely successful. And of course, we're going to talk about the recent release of Snow White. No, I haven't seen it yet, because apparently, unlike other people, I have better things to do than to watch Disney shovelware. But I'll get to it at some point, trust me, it'll be soon. Because I'm actually very much looking forward to trashing that film. And we have something else to talk about as well, but we'll get there. First, I want to talk about the failure of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Again, because people apparently are still convinced that this show was successful. Yet, I have the numbers right here. Oh, it's blending out the green screen. And in its final week of release, it couldn't crack the top 10 on the Nielsen charts, yet again being beaten out by Gabby's Dollhouse in number 10. Yeah, really. This is an article from Cosmic Book News. Well, that's hard to say fast. Basically saying, and the title is, Nobody's Watching, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is a total flop. As it is, the Nielsen ratings for the week of February 17th to the 23rd, which is the time frame from the final 2 episodes, were released. It's a similar story to the early episodes as detailed below, which I'll get to in a second. They failed to make the Nielsen charts. At the bottom of the list is Netflix's Gabby's Dollhouse, meaning Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man ranked even lower. Couldn't even make the Nielsen ratings, like I said last time, but apparently people are either so retarded they can't read basic numbers, or they just refuse to acknowledge facts, which is modern Disney for you. Joining X-Men 97, the woke Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man animated series that recently streamed is nowhere to be found on the Nielsen charts. A lot of this is talking about how the first 8 episodes didn't make it either. But I will say this, is that since all episodes were released within a 3-week window, talking about the first 8, because then the next week was the last 2, it also seems that no latecomer showed up to binge the series. So this isn't even, like, skewed numbers, like people waited for the series to end to watch it, because nobody showed up to watch it either. And why is that? Well, there are several reasons. One being is that Marvel fans just aren't interested in this crap. And you can't blame superhero fatigue, which is another one, because we just saw Deadpool and Wolverine break $1 billion. Plus Spider-Man No Way Home broke almost $2 billion. So it's not like Spider-Man fans are just turning away from all of it. The Spider-Man audience isn't tuning in to watch Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, where characters that have existed for decades have been changed for the woke agenda. That's what I've been saying since the trailer released. Should be on the chopping block. Both X-Men 97 and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man are getting additional seasons, but it doesn't appear to be because of high viewership. Yeah, the seasons were announced before it even came out, so yeah. The extra seasons were likely part of the show's original deals, presumably backed by DEI funding. Otherwise, with numbers this low, they'd probably be on the chopping block. Yep, that tells you all you need to know. So, let's get to Snow White, and this is something that's interesting. So on Rotten Tomatoes, it started with a 44% critic score and a top critic score of 27%. Why am I bringing up critic score when I usually don't care? Well, because the audience score, which has over 250 verified ratings, there's no score. They are literally hiding the audience score. There's the evidence. Over 250 verified ratings, yet the score is mysteriously missing. And in its Thursday night previews, it only raked in $3.5 million. That is not good. This movie is set to bomb and bomb big time, but we all knew that. But now something else has come up from Disney Plus, and it's a Power Rangers reboot. Now, why am I talking about a Power Rangers reboot, you might be asking? Because I don't really care for this franchise. I think a lot of the shows are really bad, and I thought the live-action movie, or I guess they're all live-action, the theatrically released movie from 2017 was mediocrity defined. It was a slightly better version of Four Stick, essentially. But this show is already dead on arrival because it has the showrunners behind Percy Jackson. Yes, really. On this article, this is from the same people, the Cosmic Book News. Hasbro reinventing Power Rangers. They tried reinventing Power Rangers on the big screen in 2017, but the flick only made $142 million on a budget of around $100 million. I still can't believe that movie cost that much. A live-action series was also in development at Netflix, which was described as woke and canceled. Big shock. It was reported that Hasbro has been exploring a new creative direction for the series with a new partner, which now appears to be Disney. You wanted something that was... You canceled a show that was clearly going to be woke garbage, and your solution was to go to Disney? What? That sounds ass backwards to me. And again, usually I wouldn't care about this show getting a reboot, because this show has been rebooted... I don't even know how many times at this point. It's probably been rebooted about 20 times at this point. And they've had several shows ongoing at the same time, plus they've had the 2 theatrically released movies, neither of which were even close to good. So again, yeah, usually I wouldn't talk about this, but you really think if you canceled your show at Netflix because it was going to be woke trash, and your solution was to go to the people who made Percy Jackson and the Olympians? Again, that is the most ass-backwards thing I've ever heard in my life. You cancel a woke show just to turn around and go to the people who made one of the biggest woke pieces of trash we've seen in the past decade. I mean, at least they didn't go to the people who made The Acolyte. But honestly, I probably won't even watch this show. But I just felt like pointing this out because this is, again, like I said, this just feels ass backwards. If you didn't want woke shit on Netflix, oh, let's go to the people who are known for making this crap. Also, apparently, like, the Percy Jackson has a new showrunner. I think it was the guy from... It was somebody who worked on the Avatar Last Airbender live-action show, which was also pretty bad. I know some people are going to point this out. I know I never did the second video. I only ended up reviewing the first 4 episodes. And if you're wondering if I'm ever going to do the second half of that, probably not. It's been over a year since the show came out, and honestly, I don't even remember most of what happened. I remember a few things that I didn't like, and most of them were changes that made fuck all sense, but the rest of it I remember is just a crappy live-action version of the animated show. I don't know why I would bother with that, but... So, yeah, I felt like bringing that up, too. But Disney just continues to lose. And Daredevil Born Again, I should bring up as well, even though I haven't seen yet, but I've heard... Honestly, I've heard mixed things. I've heard plenty of people say it's good. I've heard some people say it's not. I don't know who to believe at this point. But its ratings are also terrible. Like, it's doing worse than Echo, apparently. It's doing worse than stuff like Echo and Agatha and Ahsoka. So, yeah, Disney Plus, I think, just needs to just go under. They need to just make all their originals just tax write-offs, especially shit like Percy Jackson and The Acolyte and all that other crap. They just need to be tax write-offs, and they just need to go away. So, that's all I got, and I'll tell you, I can't wait to trash the Snow White remake. So, I will probably see you all then, unless I review something else in the meantime. So, I'll see you all next time. Bye.